Ah, yes, indeed. I have never done this kind of video before, and do not really plan on doing another one. Probably for the better. But I wanna play little journalist and will post with my very biased thoughts. Take it or leave it. I wanted to make this video over half a year ago, but then trashed the plan to pursue some funny video editing for Opal Reflections, draw some huge image where I made bad use of cross-hatching, and then decided to play through the game twice, just to cope with the time I wasted on the drawing. I will talk about this game in the assumption that the viewer already had prior experiences with the franchise, but will attempt to make it a bit accessible to those who haven't even heard of this game before. You may believe this isn't possible, but believe me, Almost every console fan here has barely heard of that game. I also may or may not throw in comparisons between the other two games, because it is to be expected, innit? The character creation is essential upon a new playthrough. You can dictate the kind of class you want to go for and with what gifted object you will spawn in the starting area. I usually like to go in without any items because I thought it would give me with something special, but I was wrong. It was a cool thought until I realized that if Dark Souls had a company, you aren't even a worker with minimum wage. You are the apprentice on day one. We can already see the first thing that hasn't changed ever since From's first game. You are meant to play and navigate it with a controller. Keyboard and mouse are just accessories on your keychain, aka the fucking useless cling-clang. But I am a character filled with spite and unrelenting ignorance. So I have amalgamated 300 hours across 2 accounts playing this softcore torture of a game with exactly that. Why 2 accounts? Because I was banned in the first one for using a cheat engine. I thought using a funny JoJo mod where it spawns enemies that attack for you upon every hit would actually be fun, but no, apparently you can't do that. And yes, I am split on the character creation process, simply because you are meant to use a controller. Almost everything on your character is influenced with the slider. Unfortunately, you cannot click the sliders. Even Skyrim did it better, and that part was questionable at times. Even there, the slider often likes to get clicked at multiple times before you can drag it. Your best hope is to click the arrows on either side to change the value. And that is rather aggravating once you realize that every time you click the arrow just once, it has to load the entire character with a new value just to show you what had changed. But luckily, you can also use the arrow keys or do the combination of shift and arrow keys to change the values in steps of 10. It's an improvement. Not only is the slider the issue, but the character's nose. It's always the nose. Holy fuck, the nose. I think you should do everything at first and then just fix the nose after. And hope it doesn't mess anything else up. Kind of looks like Agent 47. Happy. See it. Everyone needs a little bit of depression in their lives. Immortality post Hanson Squidward. No. No.
Stupid dog, you made me look bad.
Potion seller.
Can we make Leapies here though? Yeah, that's him. Do you know that one child which jaw just got ripped off by a hyena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. That totally does not look like a Prime KKK member looks like.
Funnily enough, I gave him the name Kane K. Cannibal to sneak it in. If I wanted to make an unfiltered abortion from the Abyss, or a human form apostle from Berserk, I would choose any of the 3 Souls games. That's why I began to do nose as the last bit, because even the values you wouldn't think they could influence nose's appearance, bet your ass it's gonna. This may be a stupid question, but why would you port a game onto a system that does not originally have a controller and then not change a few bits in the code to make it work? I get it. You still set up a mouse and keyboard feature for the poor or ignorant folks that refuse to exclusively attain a controller for these kind of games. But why do you then not bother to automatically have the game change the clues and instructions on which button does what to the according buttons you changed? Let's say I changed the input for the attack button from A key to the E key. Why does it still say press the X button to attack? Not only is it irritating to look at, it also really fucks newcomers who never experienced a Souls-like, and I can personally see why especially the non-gamers who have this as a first game would rather quickly drop the game if it wasn't for the fact it's generally fun, once you get over the tutorial. Sure, this may be far-stretched, but these cases surely exist. For example, Blood Omen 2, a game vastly looked down upon by half of the franchise's community, not that that has much meaning in the argument, but I just want to mention it, adapted this, and that game came out on 2002, yet somehow still did it much better on a Steam-ported version that you need to start via the Voodoo software program as it crashes on fucking startup if you want to play this piece of ash on fucking Windows 10. Yes, porting a game is actually difficult, and From has done a generally good job, but such a small detail is something where I actually become nitpicky. But hey, at least it wasn't Dark Souls 2 levels of bad, in which you cannot navigate the menu with the mouse. Have fun trying to change the ring or weapon mid-PvP with the keyboard, tryhard. So, if you don't watch a tutorial on how to make a character look good, you end up experimenting a lot or watching a 2-minute video of how to make some character you like from another piece of media, because otherwise it's gonna be a long struggle and 2 hours of character editing, before you put on a helmet and realize it doesn't matter shit. The big upside of this wacky character customization is that you can make Saints Row 4 look like a mobile game that has character customization options as plentiful as a 3-year-old's ability to understand the difference between a square, circle and triangle. Some crafts look like the sleep paralysis demon of a sleep paralysis demon. Okay, good, me suits. Yes, rest emoji, cool. Bow emoji, is this waving? No, it's just happiness. I am not happy. Actually, who cares? I can just do. I see myself as a god at this game anyway, even though I'm not. I'm just majorly fucked with Algorin anyway. See what's poppin'. One Estus, let's go. Okay, one Estus, one health bar, one boss. Showdown. Okay, now it's just a big sock puppet. Okay, point down, just point down. Get fucking wrecked, loser. I started with Dark Souls 3 as my first Souls-like, and thus I had been exposed to, at the time, most polished Souls-like on that day, but you just know veterans and DS1 fans will throw casual at it, because they have put over half a year in hours into their games and now need to flex with their virtual achievements. I found that depending on which Dark Souls you start with, will significantly alter your perception of the other games. I have a good friend who spent a lot of hours in Dark Souls 1 and prefers it simply for its level design and replayability over 2 and 3, while another friend played Dark Souls 2 for the longest time until I forced Dark Souls 3 upon him for a change, and he felt the shift in gameplay was much better. I essentially cucked him out of Dark Souls 2 like one of your enemies. Dorime. Apatare, dorime, ameno, latiremo.
Do you actually just remember that off by heart?
I don't know who it is, but I want to summon him. Hello.
On God, I have better shit to do.
E gatto e lady piresso. And I'm gonna get charged. Apparently blocking helps you to avoid getting charged. I don't know how that works. Personally, when I first started with 1 and 2, I had immense issues to get into it, as the attacks feel very sluggish and dodging not as dynamic. Especially in Dark Souls 1 to this day, despite being remastered, simply has no omnidirectional rolling, while 2's remaster, namely Scholar of the First Sin, implemented it. Which is weird to me, because Scholar of the First Sin is the remastered version of Dark Souls 2, which came out before Dark Souls 1. Riddle me how that happened. Kinda like eating the chocolate powder and then pouring milk in, wondering where the chocolate powder has went. For those who are not familiar with the term omni-rolling, omnidirectional rolling is the ability to roll in any given direction while being locked on to the enemy. It doesn't sound like much, but I caught myself being killed because of the lack of omni-rolling at Krelark. Whenever I needed to run away and simply remained locked onto her, she just simply hit me because I wanted to dodge to the side backwards. Bitch is a spider, and I'm not, and she's damn well aware of it. Due to Dark Souls 3, I have also been massively spoiled by the quick combat, which had me ending up with lots of complaining about how Dark Souls 1 and 2 feel as if there is input lag, despite the game running at full 60 FPS. And the only input lag being my brain not registering that the base game it comes from is old. If you don't wear too much, you can roll just fine. While I would love to see the older games being hit with the Dark Souls 3 version upgrade, I certainly know that this would tear the community apart, for they actually play the games partially for these type of controls and gameplay. Some believe Dark Souls 1 to be easier ever since testing Dark Souls 3, while others feel the other way around, as they are rather used to the slow but sporadic combat. But I believe most of us can agree that putting level up points into adaptability and dexterity to make your character better at rolling was a terrible idea. It essentially lessens the possibilities to make a sufficient character of your taste that will not get hit during a quick roll early on, where you actually shouldn't get hit. Although I like the idea of it, the aspect that some styles are able to influence how quickly your character can pull forth an Estus flask to regenerate health or lift a shield, as it was a common thing in Dark Souls 2. This is something I would like to see return. It would give PvP a new flavor, since some builds would have to actually focus more on different departments depending on the player's playstyle, and that's probably a fragment of where many seek the lack of build variety in Dark Souls 3. It's a topic I am certain some would be very split on, as it's of interest but also disadvantage for proper balancing. But sadly, I think we will never see this idea again. If I could, I would love to explore it a bit deeper in newer From's games, because why the fuck would I not want to be able to dodge at the speed of fuck you and pull forth my Estus flask quicker than some girl with her dildo on Chatterbait? Imagine if my father never leveled dexterity, then he probably would be clean. Yeah. Anyways. Shoto. Oh, can I do this? I don't think I can. Nope, 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 nope. What the fuck? Okay. Mate, you good? No, 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 no. Fuck. Heights. What you gonna do now, huh? Must be feel really awkward. Time to kill him twice.
Yeah.
Bro. Sit down, bruh.
This game is just characterized by you going bruh every now.
Time to Metal Gear Solid this. I did not Metal
Time
Gear
to
Solid
Metal Gear
this.
Solid.
Amazing if you could dodge that easy arrows that easily. Just a fucking child move. Stepping aside. What? Could you not? How did he get a hit in? Sometimes it's not a question of being good. It's just a question of how far can you fuck yourself. Not this guy again.
Gentle push.
Make space, make space. Give him the chance.
It's gonna be so fun.
Hi Larry.
Hello.
See you later, Larry.
Bye, Larry.
I think he's gonna keep aiming now, doesn't he? Wow. Okay, you cannot jump at that by just rolling backwards. Totally not edgy. My headcanon, as a fool too ignorant of lore, is that after the events of Dark Souls 1, everything has sporadically worsened. Your character is equipped with leftovers of a dying world, where the items once powerful, or of high advantage in a prior game, now are barely functional and weakened beyond belief. Only useful in certain situations. And for a reason this creates dread and a feeling of lacking protection in the player, as even your character is part of that rotting. Normal sized shields used to be useful for blocking and absorbing damage. Now you have to think twice if you want to block a mighty hit or rather risk the dodge, as your frail, near hollow champion now struggles to survive. In theory this sounds cool, but in practice it only undermines the immense change of approach to the latest installment. Your tanky character now is not tanky anymore. It becomes an actual bullet hell experience where you can't even upgrade or repair your armor. Basically, get good. Even with the best armor you will suffer from a decently used or sized weapon. Sure, that's cool. Makes PvP encounters more interesting as everyone can die quicker, seeing how PvP has taken a certain focus on Dark Souls. Yet on the other hand, it once again degrades the build variety. Okay, I actually survived this. Yeah, about that. Good night. What? Fuck you, drag. Fuck. Okay. Come on, let me backstab you. There you go. Do not sex. Sex is bad.
Sex is bad. It's like, do not erp. Erp is bad.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure what he wanted was, I'm guessing, just a fair game where, like, you can dodge every attack and all that, right?
I'm glad they didn't went for a beat 'em up. Imagine a Dark Souls
Oh,
beat 'em up. I think there was a game called Soul Worker, which was a bit like that. Did not work well at all. And when you upgrade the weapon Soul Worker, it had a probability to break. And you can only repair broken weapons by buying an item of the in-game shop. Which means you would have to spend real-life money to repair a weapon that you broke with not real-life money. For instance, actually... Oh my god, I'm... Death commence! Shut the fuck up. I swear on God, who you fucking talking to? You coming up to my house.
Holy.
Woman. Just woman. Let's get just split in half. Oh god. Okay. And this is not an area I am supposed to be. I cannot return. That's Jesus. He do be looking a little different than I remember. Just fucking die. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, this is agony. This is stress. This is agony. This is what purgatory feels like.
One hit. Wiped from Earth. A decent user of magic cannot train you like a dog and tell you when to dodge, or will have you lay down in a place where the sun doesn't shine within 3 hits, while you can attempt to swallow the damage and hit the magic user, only for your organs to be reorganized by the mage's staff. In my experience, you have 4 choices. Quick weapons, big ass weapon, fire or magic. And it ends there. You will encounter archetypes and some hybrids, and you can't tell how they are going to play against you. The surprises lessen as you progress, and this rings especially true in PvP, where the general joy is already kept in limits, because the netcode has as much stability as a lava with trust issues. This game came out in 2016. I certainly expect my hits to visually connect with my enemy in time, and not hit the phantom's balls that they are dragging behind them. You know, it's not about being undead or a curse whatsoever. Hell, not even a dark soul. It's about the meds, baby, the meds! Oh, no, he's summoning a firestorm, so I just hide like a pussy. I could have dodged all of that, but I woke up like half an hour ago, so I don't care. What? Oh, okay. Ah, you stupid shit. Yeah, cool. Then being summoned as a boss again. And this time I have to fight 3 players. Wait, this motherfucker is advertising CSGO skins. I'm pretty sure I can parry him. Yeah, I can parry him. Die. I'd give my life, not for honor, but for you. Bam bam, snake eater! Whip me like it's 1970. Even if you play Dark Souls for the first time, you just kinda know that this item is a trap. Because here, a big hand. For some reason. Okay. I'm tired of your bullshit. You fucking ass priest, you believe your shit? Then swallow this dick. I conclude winning. There we go. Why is everyone called in this game Zumo? I don't get it. I've killed so many Zumos and seen so many Zumos at this point. It's probably another anime reference that I'm just not getting. Hello, my friend.
Man muss noch die Glocke läuten noch, glaube.
Ja, es hat alles seine Zeit. Nein. Ah, doch, ist tot, endlich. Und das gibt mir 6 Titanite Chunk, 3 Titan Scale und 3 Twinkling Titanite. Ist das doch mal wert. Ah, scheiß Komodos. Ich mag die einfach nicht. Die rollen aber auch bis sie dich treffen, ne? Sieht denn aus, als würde ich irgendwen anbeten.
Klar.
Cool. Yet, the PvE aspect is fluid and mostly very enjoyable. The hitboxes of enemies sit and their attacks can miss you if they are close but do not visually connect with your character's forehead. It's refreshing and makes the challenge feel fair, where hitboxes often lack in precision in other games and are compensated by... I don't know. I haven't played anything else properly in months. So here's a prime example of bad hitboxes. In Spyro, Eternal Night, you had the ability to die instantly when you jumped onto certain enemies the wrong way. Or on a model while a spiky point of it connected with Spyro for about 1 to 2 seconds, which made the game in a few areas rather frustrating as the checkpoints had a lack of consistency and required you to do entire segments again. You can choose to play Dark Souls offline to avoid PvP of all, since phantom range is a thing and usually very undesirable for newcomers, and generally it's just a pain in the ass, to be honest. Sure, a lot of people still enjoy the PvP in Dark Souls, but to me this is a big issue. I want my enemy to actually get hit in time and not 1 second after I actually hit them. You're able to upgrade your sword and the strength of your Estus Flask, and the uses of the Estus Flask. As you find certain pieces throughout the game that allow you to do so, seeing how apparently only the juiciest bones can still burn strong enough to empower your green bottle, because this game has a fuck ton of bones. Like, does your character walk around and see a small splinter so you can go, yes, a fine addition to my collection. Lutschenschwanz.
Ah, ich würde einen Feuerball noch werfen.
Wow, der macht mir einfach noch weiter die Animation.
We live in a society.
I fucking hate that meme so much.
Am I being summoned again? Holy shit, okay. It's the same guy too. Just roll catching him at this point, it's so sad to watch.
Oh, not that you cap yet.
And I fucking repost him. Good. Nice.
Nice.
I feel I'm so hard right now. It would be legitimately sad if he now just summons me again. I still haven't upgraded Estes shards to full. And no, I refuse. Died to the arrows. He also died. Cool.
Oh, there you are.
Hello. Motherfucker plays a female. What else did I expect?
My game froze. And the worst time
Ah,
also.
I see it. Everything's just stuck. And it continues.
Nice.
That's really weird to see everything just stuck. I probably even just teleported on your screen or some shit. Raise the sun! I need to lay down for that.
What does uwu means?
Who wants to explain it to him?
What's in there?
There's a very funny room. I would run.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
That barely did anything. Great.
Go, Caster.
I'm not your fucking mascot. And wait, there's more.
No, wait, it's more.
There's more.
Oh.
What the fuck?
What?
Do you want a lot of loot that is not harming?
I feel like you're lying here.
No, I'm not lying. It's actual loot. But it comes with a risk. I'm not gonna tell you what risk.
What's in that? Don't mind.
Just fucking burst through the barrels. Like that one invincible gif where Omni-Man just flies through the wall
How many times have to shoot it?
until it dies.
Okay. This is a suspicious looking thing over here.
Why does it look suspicious?
Looks so out of place.
Asian language.
Good.
No.
Holy shit. That's impressive.
What's up?
Give me a second.
You can just chain your attacks with the Greatsword, but you can also delay it by an entire second, which is really useful for PvP purposes. You could actually confuse the enemy with that. Even when he puts the sword back up, you can still do it, if you just time it right. Overall, you can have up to 15 Estus flasks, which is a considerable number when you think about how in Dark Souls 1 you were able to carry 5 or 10 with you, depending on the kind of bonfire you were last rested at. Would it make sense that the character assumes you to convert some of these flasks for your FP, essentially mana? 15 is an incredibly high number, and I believe the game would benefit from a hard experience if the cap remained at 10. In prior installments, the way to the boss was long and dangerous, thus a higher amount of flasks made quite sense, but in this one you will find the bonfire usually very close to the next boss, with very few unavoidable enemies, if at all. Ironically, whereas the flasks have seen an increase in quantity, the amount of times you are able to upgrade your weapon has shrunk significantly. The average weapon is at its best a 10+ upgrade, and some special weapons, staffs, and anything that isn't armor that are either found or acquired from the soul of a defeated boss is now just 5 times. You may think this is to benefit you for a bigger focus on other things to upgrade, but if you believe that, you must have smoked some heavy shit, man, because this is the entirety of your upgradable selection.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna choose some opinion.
Okay, Dragon Slayer armor. Fuck off and suck a fat one.
That's the
You
boss.
I killed him first try today. Oh my god, it took me so long.
It's from the Uganda special, I think.
Oh my god, that's a fucking witch.
Okay, this is kind of nice. This is
Lower it.
Small man with a big ass sword. Fuck off.
Small man with a big ass sword, fuck off.
This is a random good morning Yume from Custom. Was because the Yume just pinned that message. Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I am an imp.
what is this?
Holy shit, you fucking cockmongering goblin. So, we meet again. Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! You're going to regret that, you know?
Wow, okay. Ja. Och, wirklich.
Piss off! Wanna see how it is really done? Look at this!
Where did the second hit come from? So. Ja klar. Ist dein Schwanz auch so lang oder was? Your armor now serves as an accessory and a static value added to your base protection. Nonetheless, I find it sad that the craft of upgrading has lost its value, just like repair powder has lost its meaning. Why do I mention the repair powder? I'm glad you didn't ask, mute viewer, who at best breathes through his nose because something in this video might have been funny. If there's no funny, you should stop watching, it's not gonna get any better. Armor and weapons in prior games were able to break if you did not tend to them on a regular basis. You are required to engage in micromanagement to ensure your best potential, since the amount of pain you can bring onto others and the pain you can endure slowly decreases on a certain point of durability. There are even spells to degrade your equipment quicker to lower its protection and damage values, and whenever you could not gather access to a blacksmith, you bought repair powder beforehand to quickly repair your worn belongings on the way. In Nexus 3, this only applies to weapons, as your armor is magically protected by the air around it. Resting on a bonfire restores the durability of your weapons. On one hand, that's kind of cool, sure. On the other hand, you might want to remember that every 100 meters you can find a bonfire, thus making durability as enjoyable for future as this guy being an enjoyable enemy. Bitte. Wow. You will have found the next fire before even depleting 20% of your weapon, and so repair powder is nothing but a sick joke, just like choosing the pendant as a burial gift. The best thing you can do is to install the Wax Dust mod, but I'm probably gonna get back to that later. The only equipment that actually can break from overuse is the repetitive crossbow you can obtain from one of the bosses, and sadly, that crossbow does nothing more but look cool. Its actual use is laughable at best, unless you apply some 210 IQ glitch onto it. Where this thing shoots arrows it isn't supposed to be firing. So it's kind of like what happened with Alec Baldwin. Lebt er immer noch? Alter. Ist mal gut. Ich würde gerne anmerken, dass ich die Teile mit so hoher Wucht werfe, dass sein ganzer Flügel darauf reagiert. Okay, die sind da schwieriger. Kann ich endlich in Ruhe lassen, wenn ich einfach normal laufe? Nein! Diese Viecher. Solange die nicht aufstehen, ist es wie ein Tanz. Warte, wurde der von der Truhe gefressen? Ja. Ja, jetzt ist gerade eine schlechte Zeit dafür. Ich töte gerade eine Truhe. Ach, hat auch ein Großschwert. Wie nett. Oh, scheiße. Beide Malen hat nichts gebracht. Oh, hallo? Mich boy. Death. Wirklich? Solange der still steht, will ich mir mal genau seine Details anschauen. Oh. Oder auch nicht. Suck on this. Suck on this. Suck on this. Da. Geht doch. Jetzt habe ich ihn genervt. Bruh. Wirklich? Hex? Du hast vielleicht keine Estes mehr, das weißt du schon, oder? Wie lange geht der Kampf schon? Are we gonna see the backstab miracle? Der stand vor mir, aber okay. Wird das heute noch was, oder? Der Applaus ist dafür, dass du trotz Hex so lange durchgehalten hast. Pussy. Uselessness is rather common in the arsenal of Dark Souls. So many weapons, yet at least half of them are almost never seen in a player's hand. And if that's the case, then either for the weapon art, a skill assigned to a weapon a new feature in Dark Souls 3, or for them, you can most likely find a Reddit thread for any weapon as in, is weapon worth it? And usually end up more or less smart about the weapon you are holding. If you ever stumble upon a person being quite decent with a weapon such as the Aquamarine dagger, which owns an immaculate, fast-paced weapon art at the cost of very low damage, then they are only decent because they themselves actually know how to handle the weapon. At what cost? Style points? This isn't Tony Hawk, is it? The most iconic example perhaps is the Firelink Greatsword. Do not be fooled by its name. It is not a sword, no. It is a thick iron coil. No girth, no glance, no sharp edge, and 100% aggression. Capable of releasing a blazing flame that shortly homes in on the focused target. You would expect an object entirely blunt on all sides except its ends to actually have some thrusting attack, but no. The devs must had a very delightful conversation about how this sword is gonna be used. Well, what if the guy you fight, right? What if you could get the cool thing sword? Sounds cool. Simple and symbolic in a sense. But otherwise it seems more like a trophy than anything else. Alright, good. Good. No. What if we like it's like a thick fencing sword, right? What if it only did slash attack? Yeah, it is a sick joke, and I just thought of another one, albeit not as extreme. There is a sword called the Executioner's Greatsword, a huge blade with sharp sides but a dull end, primarily used to behead others. But if you manage to deplete the enemy's stamina and riposte or backstab them, you ram the dull side into the body. Why though? In Dark Souls there is the slash, thrust and strike next to the 4 magic types, and thrust usually does a bit more damage as most players at the start wear armor that protects them as much as 2 condoms layered over one another. Nee, ich denke nicht. Ich denke so ganz und gar nicht. Wer muss schon denken? Ach du Scheiße, das sind noch mehr. Oh, die Wichse ist abgelaufen. Nice, Hörspitz auf dem rechten Ohr. I am here again, yeah. And I didn't even do anything, okay? Oh, it's the weeb again.
It's the weeb again.
He killed me before. Just notice how people, when they get a weapon art, keep using it over and over again, even though they know it won't give them a win. Oh, so close. Oh my god. So imagine following situation, right? On a slightly less unrelated note, I have read a lot of times that armor in Dark Souls 3 is actually worthless. But if that's the case, why does it still alleviate a fair bit of damage I should be receiving? Even if I don't wear something in every equipment slot, I am able to get at least 20% less damage without the Ring of Protection. That actually increases your defense drastically. You can block everything. Magic, knives, magic knives, Moby Huge, the Dildo edition, and even God's Footstep, as long as you have stamina for it and health. Yet it feels pointless to use a shield if it's not the size of your own body. The damage you receive from a hit is usually better saved by just dodging, than even attempting to take in the hits to successfully push your enemy back or to use odd mind games. Ah, there he is, and he has a scythe. I wonder what his favorite weapon art is. Oh, I'm not going to intervene here. I'm just gonna let him fight the wolf. No, he's running away from him. Pussy. Praise the sun. Bruh. please heal yourself. Thank you. I don't want to fight a person that is like 1 hit away from death. I want to kill someone. Bro. Hey, hello, you again. Do you remember me? Please, hello. Please remember me. No, he just wants to kill me. He does not care. And he killed me.
Does not care. He's like, I know where this is going, motherfucker. I'm prepared for this shit.
He's called Friedrich von Karstein. No, that's his computer name. Who names his computer Friedrich von Karstein? Why am I even asking? Someone else named his computer Hellslayer. Hellgamer, I mean.
Hellgamer.
Hellgamer?
Oh, what do you name your computer?
Probably just Kaznex. I don't even know anymore.
Unless you have a proper name. Mine's literally just H.
I remember years ago when I had my old computer, I just saw that you can rename your computer. I just named it for like a week. No. We killed him. We killed God. There we go. Fuck off.
Oh god.
Hello? Hello? No! I killed myself. And then I just jump on top of it. Smart, yes. While some shields always leave you with some damage on your health, other shields entirely negate the damage of your opponent's attack, yet it requires huge stat investment to make it worthwhile, as invasions and summonings of phantoms are usually decided by the player's level, unrelated of how many times they reminded the bosses who the fuck they were in each playthrough. The only really cool thing shields do otherwise is to let you poke your enemy with thrust-style weapons from behind the shield. In fact, I love doing this in Dark Souls 1, as it was easier to revisit priorly seen areas before with a lot of ambushes and enemies, such as the Undead Burg, and not to go through the stress of dodging everything perfectly again. In Dark Souls 3, when blocking a huge hit and there is stamina left, there even is a chance to have your character doing a backflip from the sheer force of the attack, but that's it. A fair few players favor to play with shields anyway, as a lot of smaller enemies can still be handled fairly well with one, and they aren't stacking onto you in a higher number than 2 or 3. No, he's not over here, it seems. Huh? I mean, the door's open, so clearly he has been here. Maybe he's hiding in the attic, like on the front. Doesn't seem like that. Please tell me where you are. Wait, is that a person? There are binoculars. No, that's just a reflection. Okay, now I actually have to wait because I'm kinda trapped in here. Just gonna squat down here like Slav and wait until I disconnect or something. Gaming. Ah, see his name. He is getting hurt, and he's definitely there where I am not. Gamer moment. Ah, fuck it. Maybe I can find a shortcut out of here that I don't know of yet. I keep finding new shit in Dark Souls, so why not that as well? Headphones. Why? Wait. Oh yeah, he has eaten a seed, so every NPC here attacks me. Time to slaughter the children. The children. I'm just gonna wait down here and maybe he'll slide down at some point. I don't fucking care, mate. I think in the meantime I can just piss and make myself coffee. Let's see, has he found me already?
And you're back.
Yeah, I just want to check if he has found me already. Doesn't seem like it.
You're just gonna wait in one spot and just gonna leave it there?
Yeah, maybe he just dies while I do my shit.
And this reminds me of that time of a battle took place somewhere in Nordic Ocean, I believe, against the Brits and the Germans, and somehow the Brits won without even participating in it. And he's gone. Just like my dad. Oh, I thought I was gonna walk your dog as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk the dog, but I just wanted to check by.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm gonna wait for him to find me.
You're still there?
Yes, I refuse to give up. I probably could have fought at least 10 people in the meantime I was waiting, but I refuse. Now I can see it if he actually slides down. He's still fighting someone. What is there left to fight? Okay, game theory. He keeps losing health, but the amount of times he has lost health, he has no flasks to heal himself anymore. So I believe that he has just a ring, which regenerates his health, but the regenerating procedure is very, very slow. So every time he has taken too much damage, he retreats from the enemy and waits for it to heal fully. Because when you are invaded, you can't sit down to heal yourself at the bonfire, I mean. So I'm just making it even harder for him and more annoying. And
Still waiting for him?
yeah, I could just go out of the world, but I legit can't go to him. There's a slope which you can slide down, but you can't run it back up. And as I said before, I just refuse to give up. I'm waiting for him to make progress, so I can just fucking kill him. I might just as well slowly walk over there as a gravestone. So I'm even harder to see because I blend in with the slope. Maybe he'll think, oh, that's a nice detail, and look at me. And then I can just fucking smash his ass. Holy shit, could you get your ass out of your pussy zone and come down here? If you die, it's not that bad. It's Dark Souls, man. How to contact a Dark Souls player. In options, you go to view, players, recent play. Tom Linky. Can I maybe chat him up? I'm just gonna fucking add him as a friend now. Okay, I can't add him. Because this account hasn't bought a game. This fucking account is family shared, just like mine. Just accept the invite. I want to resolve this today.
Good lord. You're still waiting for this? Dude, I admire your persistency, if I'm gonna be honest right now.
You should question if it's just pathetic at this point.
No, I admire your persistency.
Even if he just disconnects to kick me out of the game, this is me with just winning. I will leave when I have to go to sleep. That's my limit. Or I will just simply let the computer run the one night.
Are you still there, by the way?
Yes, I will try something new. I'm gonna get an bow, and shoot around. Maybe this will somehow catch his attention. Add him as a friend again. Oh my god, something is happening. I saw a fireball. They are making progress. They are sliding down. Oh my god, this is the biggest moment. Yeah, there was the white phantom. He just basically sent him forward while the other guy is waiting. Probably waiting for me to clear it up. Waiting for fucking 1.5 hours or something. No, I just want him to actually also slide down. Yes, he is coming down. It has begun. Finally.
Finally, you found him.
Do you know how much time I wasted on your lazy ass? I'm gonna get his ass. Oh no, you ain't running away from me. He died. It was so worth it. I didn't even kill him, but he fucking died from fall damage. Fuck you, oh my
He died. Finally got him.
Another very important stat is poise. Poise is the ability to not get staggered from a blow of your enemy, depending on your stats and armor. Well, that was in Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 3, poise has the same worth as a dyslexic person in a public reading session. The only thing poise helps you now with is to not get interrupted while attacking someone else. Generally, it is recommended not to go beyond 40 on a stat investment, as anything after quickly deteriorates in progress. For example, if you start with Vigor on level 10, you have 403 HP, and by Vigor on level 40, you have 1213 HP. That's a tiny bit over 3 times more than with what you start off with. Now, if you level up another few times, let's say pump it up to measly 99, you are left with 1400 HP, which isn't even 200 added on top of that. It's an interesting decision on balancing I kind of dislike. It feels like an attempt to make builds more accessible by creating diminishing returns for higher areas. You pay the same prostitute over and over and over, but it's fun for only so long until you dip to another one. It's the same thing. This accounts for every stat as well, except luck. Luck can go fuck itself. It's so useless that even the luck build is not worth doing for some funny video, as the only thing it mainly does is to increase the social credits you could get from an enemy. Most of the items you want to acquire you can get easily enough without that kind of investment. In Dark Souls 1, these stats were compressed together with multiple functions. Endurance increased your stamina and the weight you could carry, which was of big help for heavy-footed characters. I am pretty sure this kind of deal happened with another stat as well, but I can't bother to find out if that's just my imagination or the voices in my head, but if I had to guess, it probably would have a similar effect for mage builds, where FP and effectiveness of one's spells are divided into intelligence and attunement. Fucking stat segregation, I tell ya. Now, hitboxes, hear me out, alright? They're fucking great. Okay. Whoa! I can't believe I actually did not get it. He's gonna stand up. Alter. V! I overcame my disliking for Dark Souls 1's slow playstyle and adapted to finally proceed up to Slamough and Ornstein. I am not gonna say Ornstein because Stein means stone in German and fuck yourself. It's the same as Schrödinger being written with an O. You write it with an O and E if you can do the dots above the O. But then I went somewhere else for the time being, as I couldn't defeat him with various approaches and 8 hours stretched over 2 days. Yes, I am that bad, who knew? And before you enter their room, you have the huge, towering guards at the entrance. I normally sprint past them and then it feels like luck if I don't get hit by one of them at least once, which is often the case even though the tip of their weapon strayed past me. Or the headless guardians that can shoot lightnings and are scattered in very few rooms, which catch me with their tail even though their weapon's attack has visually ended. What Dark Souls 1 did greatly though was the attention to area of effect attacks. Whenever Slamough swung his hammer and I somehow got past him, his foot caught me for less damage than I would have gotten if the hammer hit me. But I am hugely thankful for it that Dark Souls 1 is this forgiving, as I cannot comprehend the fight despite any advice. And not gonna lie, it's kind of infuriating when Dark Souls 3 does not see the difference in foot and weapon. Yes, I could cheese it, but I want to play it honestly. People who cheese on a regular basis, because they can't be bothered, are also too lazy to flush the toilet and just wait for someone else to do it. Small note on the side. After another 4 hours, I actually defeated Slamough and Ornstein by just using Havel's armor and fetch rolling through all attacks. For some reason, Super Ornstein is much easier to me than Super Slamough. I also didn't take many times when I used the Havel armor. It was like the first try. Like, fuck this. And if you are caught by a foot, despite your weapon charging ahead, you will face the same height of damage as the weapon. I probably tasted more worn feet against my will than I would want to admit. Of course, this isn't limited to feet though. Where I favor the hitboxes a lot though, is their usual precision. If your character ducks because their weapon skillset makes them, a slash can soar across your scope and you aren't hit at all. On the other hand, the player's weapon appears to have a bigger hitbox than the weapon itself, which leads you to roll catch players in PvP or to hit enemies 3 meters away from your character's position, if the sword is longer than your favorite fanboy's Schmitty Schlong. It appears in Souls games, either the player has a certain advantage in the environment or the enemy. There is never an equal force. The same accounts for projectiles with a small area of effect that outlasts the object itself. A rare occurrence in which it becomes important, but good to remember when you wonder why you get thrown around despite dodging perfectly, or far enough. It's probably in the lore somewhere, but why do huge arrows home in on you? Surely to help the enemy, but it feels more like cheating to me. Give the player the ability to enchant their arrows then as well to acquire the same effect. Maybe it ends up as a useless spell, but at least it would make it fair? Although Champion Gundyr is fine, as long as he doesn't catch you in a charge, which apparently cripples you so badly that he gets in a hit for free, normally ending your will to live temporarily, like the Enderman from Minecraft does when you accidentally look at him from a kilometer away. Or you have that sweet 40% raw damage absorption and come out with 5 health left, baby. Oh yeah, let's go! I like him, as he is not only a secret boss but also a reiteration of the tutorial, testing you on how well you have learned and if you are willing to adapt to the same enemy, even though the enemy this time wants you to remember who he is by pegging you with his halberd so deep that even the dark area you fight him in looks like a bright day. It doesn't help that attacks of bigger weapons, including your own, can just hop through walls and damage whatever was right behind it. The AI of enemies can be terrifying at times, as they are set up for a peculiar ambush, or each of them has a task assigned to them and they stick to it. But only for as long as you haven't stepped up to them, because then their intelligence and awareness drops as quickly as a Skyrim bandit's self-awareness when they're having a one-to-one with the Dragonborn. Enemies that can fly in battle are dead the second they fall from a cliff, as if their wings were just a play for your eyes to be tricked into one of their attacks. Enemies that climb up to you from a ledge rarely can hold onto one after being kicked down, but usually end up just as clueless. The best an enemy's pathfinding does is to know the player's location is within their given space. Once they leave their space, they will make sure to return to it after creating some distance between themselves and the player. Yet if it ends up in an area they are not familiar with at all, given by the code, they will attempt to return to the usual place anyways by grinding against the wall. All in all, an enemy can get stuck and end up lost. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's just kind of funny to watch them internally cry. Although in rather open areas, it takes a bit from the immersion, once you know where to flee to recover for another attempt. But I believe this is the case with any FromSoft's games for viable reasons. Nice. I can see myself again because I'm a pussy. I can do it again. Ooh. Cool, I killed him by just abusing the game's mechanics and... Where is he? He's down there. I did not know that he can climb. Okay. I'm just gonna stand here, to be honest. Maybe he'll circle towards me. No, he thinks that the door is up there. This is a pathfinding issue. This is a... He got frustrated, so he just destroys the stuff. Okay. What? Okay. So this game has a fuck ton of lore, and it's never pushed in your face like an Asian MMORPG that wants you to know upfront how many fuckable fanboys it has, and I am so glad that this has been pulled off decently in any Souls game, because I like playing through the game and just stare at the areas and people myself without any bias given before. Yet over time I realized how much lore there is, and then proceeded not to care. I respect the effort and subtlety and the quiet approach. You can read item descriptions and puzzle it all together like a little detective. But because most of the connected dots can usually end up being just popularized theories, I rather felt comfortable to make up my own theories by just going through the areas, instead of reading anything but the dialogues. I am ignorant as fuck and fully aware of it. The human mind can make up much scarier theories and beliefs than whatever you are given by another author. But I will not share my theories or whatever I thought of it each time, for I believe you should approach it the same way, even if you have read and accepted the lore of others. It never hurts to throw sparks at your creativity. I believe it is good not to talk too much about lore if I don't really have anything more to add to it, since I surely have pissed off at least half of the viewers that haven't stopped watching yet. My lore. The visuals of this game were quite good for 2016, but in my opinion they aged rather quickly. Everything non-destructible looks a bit too stale, and the atmosphere suffers from it after one or two playthroughs. I'm not really sure to describe it, but I just feel about it that way. I even added a shader onto the game, so the atmosphere returned for a bit, but I know even then it will quickly dissipate after I played for a bit. Yet, especially the colder and extremely hot areas feel threatening, and for a good reason. For example, Irithyll looks beautiful in its own right, and is probably the favorite of a lot of people. But my personal favorite is the bird view from the ringed city before and after you touched the orb to fight one of the bosses. It looks lost, empty, and touches one of my personal aesthetics when it comes to atmosphere, loneliness. Now it's not a phase, I swear. It has the same feeling for me as the rain that's going against your window on a comfortable night as you finish some work. An old game, which got shut off right after its beta, namely Sky Saga, provided this atmosphere on your private island in which you could just craft things and build while a cold wind without any music, maybe at best soft ambient, described your desolate location. Or Journey, a game so old and yet beautiful to look at. There is no huge lore or powerful story, only one goal. And mostly you are alone. Rarely you see another player, and even then you can communicate with only a few sounds, giving this a strange and yet uplifting feeling of company. You feel alone. It's fucking gorgeous, and Irithyll just doesn't match that feeling for me, and normally it is hard for me to really choose a favorite. Maybe you noticed that I barely show any swarms in the video. That is because they aren't worth crediting for how much pain they give me with their bare existence. The best that came out of them is the Greatsword. Don't care, mate. Just could not care less. Fucking dog, oh god. Eat shit and die, drink piss and live, I don't care.
So I don't care.
Bruh, 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 bruh. I'm just gonna watch you die, to be honest. Just put down. Bruh. Okay, one is killed. Wow. I mentioned something like Wax's Dust earlier, right? This is where I ramble about PvP. PvP has gained major attention in this installment. You can unlock many rare items you can only gain once per character, and those items are acquired by joining a covenant through mostly fighting of another player, or by invading them to acquire the item. Every 10 or 20 spent items of the same covenant to the covenant will give you that item. Some are harder to get, others not so much, but PvP overall is a strain on the nerve. If you are wondering what the weird farting noise is in the back, that is the dog snoring on my lap, and I do not care to wait until she wakes up. And if I wake up, she's just gonna fall asleep in like 5 minutes again, so what's the point? If you have wondered what the names and things are in the upper left corner, this is a mod that registers if an invader or phantom is making use of hacks, mostly useful to avoid hackers from ruining your save file and otherwise turning your experience sour. The same exists for Dark Souls 1, but under another name, Watch Dogs or something. At the start, hacking was very common, and I believe I had so much luck that I started playing this game later than everyone else that I made only one of them. Usually if a player feels like they should start trolling or are simply too bad to win under any normal means, they will increase their walking speed or attacking speed, maybe teleport around and whatnot. Maybe 100,000 HP sounds cool too. These cases can only be killed by getting them to literally kill themselves. And because the popularity of this game has decreased over the years, as it happens naturally with games, it was now harder to invade other players manually to get the items. Harder? Yes, because you can only invade other players in the same location that you are also situated in. And that's where I highly recommend Wax's Dust Mod. It turns the useless item, Repair Powder, into that. It enables you to invade any location from any standpoint, and if I remember correctly, you won't spawn in areas you haven't dipped in before to save newcomers from spoilers. Using both of these is also absolutely safe, as they change nothing about the gameplay aspect and don't give you any advantages. You can even manipulate a few models and colors, such as flames and lightings. But these are other mods. As an invader of another player's world, your health is going to be 30% lower, and the amount of Estus Flask you have with you is going to be halved. It makes sense, because any kind of phantom should not be too strong. I can absolutely roll with that, and I believe this is why you have 15 Estus Flasks instead of 10. As a mage, you can refill your FP with an Ashen Flask, and the amount of those is also gonna be halved, just like the amount of FP you can invade with. I do not play this type of build, but I can certainly see why it would be increasingly difficult to enjoy an experience in which a character is downgraded deeper than wherever Cyrus and Sif have been chilling out. So I deeply believe that returning the amount of times you can do a certain spell, as it was in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, should return instead, and maybe half that instead. And since most players are usually scaredy cats, they will backtrack an entire kilometer to spawn phantoms on a bonfire to defeat you, even though prepare to die is literally the theme. There is no shame in dying. I do not recall to have summoned another phantom in a PvP encounter once, because it simply felt unfair to point down at someone and then squeeze my nuts into the face when I haven't even rightfully killed him myself. Hey well, look at these in a game like Dark Souls, there is no honor. But showing manners is still a nice gesture. I really feel good about another player when they just kill me without any post-edit help. This is why, once someone evades, players should be unable to repetitively summon another phantom. Either make it a one-time possibility or deactivate the option entirely. If you die as an invader, you will drop your souls in your own world wherever you died in another person's world. Why would you do this? I also don't lose souls when I die as a helping phantom. But there's more. To balance it out, as if there was more balancing to begin with, you cannot invade people much weaker or stronger than you, nor summon anyone in this regard, unless you have a good old buddy pal with the same password in the matchmaking section in your options. Then you can be level 20 and your friend can be 500. Your friend gets scaled down a fair bit, but will still be vastly more powerful than an invader, so why even try? I also hate to dive behind enemies to let them do the work for me, but it appears to be sometimes the last thing I can still do when I face 3 people at once. And if you or the host has a really shit day, they can snap the seat of a giant between their fingers so the enemy can turn around on you for a minute. And this is the part where I don't feel like listening to the advice of get good. If my enemy can dodge my attacks, but I cannot dodge theirs, since the netcode is built in such an extraordinary way that no matter what, there's always a noticeable delay. I do not know how famous Dark Souls players such as Chase the Row and Prod genuinely enjoy the system. They are good enough to deal with it, yes, but it doesn't change the fundamentals. Yet I still respect the skill to deal with it and come out successfully a fair few times. Oh, I'm getting good now.
Nice. Is it because of the NGS team helping you out there?
No, I'm just pissed.
No, I'm just.
Okay, sorry, let me try something. Social experiment. 5 minutes in and he still hasn't found me.
It'd be real hilarious if you stand up, he saw movement, but then he just didn't see you.
Okay, let me stand up for a second. He hasn't seen me.
He has not.
I'm gonna just walk forward. Maybe he hasn't seen me.
He has.
No. Okay, so that just happened. The sad thing is, I fought him twice before. He also killed me twice before. And I also did this meme before. Apparently he has not learned from it. Oh, there he is. He's coming back. Oh, no. I threw a knife. Maybe that changes anything. I think he's starting to realize. He's fucking pissed. The fuck?
I killed him with a case just eventually, but it was like really fucking annoying.
Once you do get a few hits off on him, he just kind of dies.
Spear moment. Like just a moment ago.
It is admittedly very fun.
Just a moment ago.
I might actually change my covenant to that.
Just a moment. E. How much health does he have? Please tell me he's about dying. Nope, he's just back. Cool story, bro. And gone. Even the paired ringed knight ultra greatsword can be outsmarted by dodging right or using a skill named perseverance to not get staggered anymore for like 4 seconds. You receive damage but can throw damage out just as fast. I even managed to kill such an user this way, just waiting for them to change their weapon so I could stop using this abusive weapon art, but these kind of people either never learn or learn too late. However, if you see 2 of them once, you are better off with the mage build, because once you are locked into that weapon art, they will chain and double it into another, like a bitter, unprocessed but shit-out sandwich that your dog stole 2 days ago, and because there's no food left, you are going to eat it. And the really funny thing is, when you invade someone, blue phantoms may spawn in to help their host, but I don't recall this help appearing on my end just once, no matter the covenant I've chosen, but I appear to not be alone with that. I am not sure what else to add. But I know there is a lot I simply didn't mention, such as more things in the controls. There is no dedicated kick button. And why do I attack again after doing a heavy attack, which just depletes my stamina entirely, leaving me open to be attacked? See this video more as a practice to write something on a bigger topic, because I have never done this before. And because I get the compliment that I have a really nice voice, which I don't get, but you do you, buddy. I am kind of glad Elden Ring has been postponed, because I am certain this video would have come out on a similar date, and I don't want to trend chase something. E.
Are you ready to fight the 3-course boss?
You mean the wolf?
I mean, the fucking 3-stage boss!
Oh, I'm hard as fuck for it. I'm just not there yet. It's fucking easy though. Like, I'm just gonna lay down here straight up. Do you know the library? Of course you do, the Grand Archive. The first camp pool You can actually walk behind that, and if you have armor like me, you can kneel down on the altar with the candles, and they will just not see you. Because you look so much like a statue.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Man walked right past. You're not even disguised.
Yeah.
You're just laying there. The most.
Oh my god. If
Wow.
it comes by again.
There's literally no way.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. Sneak by, yeah.
You know, like
Oh.
a sneaky motherfucker.
Didn't work as much. He can fly,
yeah.
but he gets fall damage, okay? I know I could look for the switch already, but I like killing the bugs. Because I like mass slaughtering, genocide moments.
Wait a minute, Katsu. Hold on.
Totally not relating to my DNA whatsoever.
Of course, of course.
I'm just imagining Kane in an SS uniform.
No.
Transitions. Uncover, cover. Uncover,
MTF or FTM?
cover. Shut up. I'm not gonna tolerate this from you, Katsu.
Eat shit, die like shit. You are shit. Piss off, cunt.
Man isn't summoning Gale for the 3-part boss.
Feet.
You don't understand. We must measure in feet.
Okay, you're just menacingly walking towards me, so let me give a head start. Thank you very much. Oh, now that's
Okay, that's a little bit faster.
Although I do have to note that ever since I played Dark Souls 3, no other game came close to it anymore. I now need the mostly fair difficulty. If it isn't there, I feel as if the game is just so boring. And that's why I downloaded a mod pack off of Rubberjack, bigger than 100 GB for Skyrim, just so it actually makes it very fucking hard to even kill 1 weak bandit at level 1. And I fear if everything FromSoft has learned with their prior games and experimental attempts to include new features, and then is going to be done well in Elden Ring, every other game will lose worth to me. I never bought a game near its release date, but for this one I feel as if I should make an exception. I probably should touch grass. I hope you could draw something from this video. Maybe I convinced you to take a look at the game yourself or to see it with new eyes. Probably not, but you know. If you didn't enjoy the video, that's your problem. You watched all of it. Should you have questions with what I think about other things within the game, just ask, because I sure as fuck will not have covered even a fragment of possible questions. Have a nice day.
It is made from cylinders tied to your bones, meaning even pointing your finger out could get you killed. Things are very skeleton and animation based, so things like hitboxes can be decently understood and predictable without needing to reverse engineer the game like this. Here's what the hitbox looks like with no player mesh in the way. As you can see, there is no cylinders for the fingers or toes, and there aren't any random tiny gaps between the cylinders, so you don't need to worry about your crossbow shots or throwing knives going straight through players.